Hey, what's up? Early morning on Sunday, trying to knock out 4 videos for you guys. I've been thinking pretty deep and hard all morning long about certain things that may be useful for anybody in the world just making their way. It's important to A, write your thoughts down so you know what you're talking about on camera, but B, understand where you are in your life and where you want to be next. But when you're thinking about where you want to be in your life, so you're putting on my mic, ignore the wrestling sounds. But when you're thinking about where you want to be in life, you need to understand where you are. Understanding where you are will help you to get where you want to be. For example, and I'll be talking to this a little bit in one of the videos that I have. If you are, let's say, broke and jobless and you have nothing to look forward to, no prospects, what can you do to get from there to where you want to be, which is maybe somebody with a job. Maybe it's somebody with a business. Maybe somebody with a big business. Maybe you're trying to be Jeff Bezos style balling, right? How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? First, step A, understand where you are. I talk about this in a lot of my videos. I used to have a channel where I talked about this quite a bit, but the order of operations of wealth creation is really about taking you from nothing to something that is a goal of yours, to a big time goal that you want to hit in the future. For example, like I was talking about, let's say you're going from or trying to go from nothing to something, to a big time billionaire, Jeff Bezos style rich guy. You start off with where you're at, and where you're at maybe you have nothing. You have no knowledge, you have no skills, you have nothing, just plain nothing. You're just here watching YouTube videos. Thank you, by the way, like and subscribe. But what you do from there is you start with gaining knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Knowledge will take you from nothing to something pretty quick. So that's really step one, getting the knowledge. How do you get the knowledge, you may ask? A lot of people tend to navigate or gravitate towards structured education, which is fine in and of itself. I had a structured education. I went to high school, I went to college, I went to grad school. And from there I learned all the skills that I needed to become a person who can provide value and ask for finances, monetary remuneration in return. That's a path that you can go down. Definitely a path that you can go down. But if you're sort of a non-traditional type of person, then maybe that's not the thing for you. And it doesn't have to be the thing for you. And it doesn't have to be the only way that you can make it. I know several folks who do not have college degrees and who are very successful. It is really about the hustle, because I know several college folks as well who went to college, nice schools, and are not successful at all. They just don't have the hustle. They don't have the desire. They're baristas at Starbucks somewhere. And again, they're probably just trying to find their way. They're probably trying to find their place in life and what they really want to do. It's not that they're playing losers. It's that they're just simply, well, they're losers. Let's be real. No, I'm kidding. They're just trying to find their way in life, right? They're trying to get to where they want to be. They're trying to get to what they're trying to do eventually. But you don't have to be in a traditional school to get this started off. It can be as simple as watching YouTube videos and learning about the thing that you like to do. I mean, these types of videos are fine. They're very knowledgeable and they have all sorts of stuff that can help you get to where you want to be. But to really drive value for others, which is the key, right? Driving value for others and asking for something in return. Driving value towards others and asking something for return is how you make money, no matter what level you're at. Whether you're Jeff Bezos, who provides value to millions and billions of folks via Amazon, or whether you're a barista at Starbucks, providing your chai mocha latte or whatever it is people at Starbucks drink. When you provide value to somebody, at that point you can ask for something in return. And really, that's how life works. But wherever you're trying to be at, you don't necessarily need to be in a structured education, which is the point I'm trying to get back to, right? You don't have to be in the structured education. You don't have to have a structured education to get there. You can start off with YouTube videos. YouTube videos like this are a great place to start off. But when you want to get into a place where you're really delivering value to somebody, you need to get very specific. What is it that you want to learn? Maybe you are a math, science, a STEM type person, science, technology, engineering, math. At that point, you want to learn about you want to deep dive into some of the various schools of thought around those technical skills, right? Computer science, data science, information science, all of the things that build those up. I can tell you that I'm a computer science and information science type dude. Now, never really got into the data science, but I know enough to be dangerous. That said, not everybody is oriented towards STEM thinking, towards a STEM mindset, and that's okay too. You don't have to be a STEM guy to make big money. For example, sales is a skill and a position that you can learn and that you can master and that can make you a ton of money. Another pathway that a lot of people go down, can't talk this morning, but another pathway that a lot of people go down is marketing. Marketing is the art of selling in mass and really brand building. And that environment is sort of changing every day, right? because of all the tools and the technology that we have around ourselves. And this is a really great time to be alive, to be quite frank with you. Never in the history of humanity have we been able to sell so much to so many people. You just have to find a way to get in front of those right amount of people. And that's where marketing comes in mostly. Internet marketing mostly, but you can branch out into other areas. For example, if you're really good at writing, get into copywriting. Copywriting is the art of writing sales techniques, the art of writing sales letters, and motivating people to buy by the words that you write. But you can go down that pathway, but you have to make sure that you're laser focused on a specific skill that can drive value to somebody so they can in turn give you something in return, right? Next up, after you've garnered a skill, you gain the knowledge, you've garnered a skill, you got to put it to practice. That's the most important thing. And as a matter of fact, you probably want to start putting it to practice right as you're really learning the skill. And in addition to that, the art of learning the skill should almost be putting it into practice. You really want to be doing these two things in tandem. Part of the problem of structured education is they kind of tell you that you learn first, then you do, which I think some people can do. Not me personally. I learn by doing. And the more I do, the better I learn. The more I do, the more I learn. So I think what you really should be focused in on is learning and doing. How can you do that? Well, like I said, the technology around us is great and it really enables a lot of things. What you can do is you can put yourself out there on the internet as somebody who can execute any of these things. You know, I can talk about copywriting, marketing, computer science, information science, data science. You can literally hire yourself out as somebody who does that with no skills whatsoever. Sites like Fiverr, Upwork. Is Craigslist still around? You probably can do that there too. These are all options that you have for yourself to get yourself out there to be hireable. But there's one caveat. At first, you can't charge a lot of money. In fact, I would recommend that you charge no money at first. That you give away your services for free to somebody who needs them for a period of time to show your skills and to show your worth, and then ask for a little bit of something in return. Remember, in real world economics, you provide value first, and then you get something in return. I know there's various schools of thought out there about minimum wage and things of that nature, which are all valid. There's valid things and reasons behind all those discussions. However, in the real world, when you want true money, when you want true life-changing, lifestyle-changing money, you've got to be able to provide value first and then ask for something in return. Because at that point, you begin to understand what it is people are really asking for. And eventually you start to learn how to tailor your skills around what folks really need. Because in the theoretical world, there's all sorts of theories and pathways and different schools of thought on certain things. But in the real world, where people are actually looking to do their thing, make money, etc., there's specific things that they want. And you're never really going to learn how to apply the theory to the real world unless you start doing. And the way to start doing with no experience is to not charge any money. That's just how it is. It's just me being real. And at the point that you learn how to apply the theory to the real world, boom, now you can start charging the real money. When you know that and when you learn that, you need to start asking the person that you started to work for to give you the money that you want. Like I said, provide the value first, then ask for something in return. If they say no, tell them to flip off. Now you can go over and you can charge somebody else probably more money because now you have the skills on your resume to actually provide value to somebody and say, hey, I can do this for them. Here's what I did. Take a look. Now, how about you pay me, right? And that's how you do that. And that's how you get into the mode of actually earning money. Now, that's kind of where I stopped for a little while. I learned a skill. I learned a lot of skills, actually. I was in college for like 7 years. I learned a lot of skills. And then, well, I could go on a tangent here. I actually tried to start some businesses. They all failed. I then realized I need to start making some money. Otherwise, I'm just going to be broke for the rest of my life. So I got a job, a 9-to-5. And I really got good at what I did. And I started earning a lot of money. And then I started to go down and explore different paths. And here I am today. That's sort of a different topic for a different video. But what am I trying to tell you guys? So lost my train of thought there. I apologize. But once you're in the spot where you can make money, now you got to start thinking bigger. You're making money. Hopefully it's enough money where you can start putting some stuff aside. So I talked about, in some of my videos, now that you're earning money, now you want to start saving money. So an emergency fund, right? I know when you start making money, you start getting excited. You want to start buying cars and houses and all kinds of stuff. That's all good, well and good. Make sure you're saving up an emergency fund. Save up an emergency fund first, then start having fun with cars and houses and things of that nature. Although I would avoid buying a house for investment purposes. We can go over that in a while. In fact, that's another video that I have, should be dropping soon. A house to live in for investment purposes, excuse me. But once you start making money, you've saved up an emergency fund. Now it's time to start investing. Imagine you're working a 9-to-5 like a regular schmo. Chances are your company provides you a 401k. You should start investing in that first, because in a 401k, typically they'll pick a mutual fund for you. More than likely, it will mirror the S&P 500. That's a very safe way to invest. Investing in the S&P 500 over the last, let's say, 50 years has been very lucrative to folks who do it. It's beat inflation through the 70s. It's just increased over year at an 8% to 11% clip. If you just put money in there at a consistent, constant basis, you will, I guarantee you, make enough money to retire on if you do consistently and if you do it enough. Now, once you're doing that, and let's assume you're doing that and you have enough money left over to both feed yourself, keep shelter over your head, and you have a little bit of money left over extra. At that point, you want to get into speculative investments. And that can be just about anything. And it really depends on your goals in life. Like I said, are you trying to be a Jeff Bezos? Are you trying to be a Warren Buffett? Are you trying to be a Andrew Carnegie? That's going back in history a little bit, but Andrew Carnegie went through a very similar path. He learned a skill. He applied it to a job that he had. He then earned money. He took that money that he earned and he bought a steel company, right? Which was sort of a no-brainer at the time, I might imagine, but not everybody was doing that, obviously. And he became the best at it, the best at owning the steel company. And that steel company grew and grew and grew and grew for him. So eventually somebody bought it off of him and he became the richest man on earth for a time. So that's the sort of thing that you can do. It doesn't have to be just standard investments like, let's say, cryptocurrency or stocks, single stocks, penny stocks, whatever it is that a lot of people think that may grow. You could go out somewhere, search high and low for an actual business that somebody is writing up for you or starting up, and you could buy that and watch as that grows. It's all about taking the extras that you have after you put a roof over your head, after you've gotten the food that you can eat, and you're starting to make safe investments, non-speculative investments. At that point, you can start looking at the more non-traditional investments, right? That is your stocks, your bonds, your singular stocks, your singular bonds, your cryptocurrencies that may explode 1,000%, 10,000%, 1,000,000%, etc. I have more videos on that coming up in the next week. I think you'll enjoy them. I'm not sure how long I've been talking here. This is just me setting up the studio, getting ready to dive into some of the content. And I'm sure you guys are gonna like it. In any case, always remember, a goal without a plan is a wish. A goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. Let me know in the description, guys, if you like more of these videos where I'm more off the cuff and I'm not on my script. Typically in my videos, I have a script I try and go through that helps me organize my thoughts a little bit better, as you can tell from that long pause. Those are interesting videos. I like them because I can put my thoughts down on paper and really try and deliver something to you guys that's concise and precise. Because sometimes if you're not careful, like in this video for instance, you can begin talking and go off on a different tangent. Maybe people aren't following you, and it can get a little bit disjointed when you put your thoughts down on paper, which is another topic for another video. Learning to write and learning to put your thoughts to paper. That is an enabler of wealth creation. I'll put it that way. It's very similar to learning to code or anything of that nature. Learning to get what's up here down onto paper for others to see and consume is a skill that's very underrated. Writing in general, underrated skill. Almost as big a skill, in my personal opinion, as any of the STEM skills that you can have. And probably as lucrative, maybe even more so. In any case, remember, a goal without a plan is a wish. A goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to drop some of these videos for you guys. I'll catch you in a little bit. Peace.